namely the Church's response to the current social situation in India, and the Church's response to the current political situation and the benefits and challenges of artificial intelligence. The first point, I refer to the compendium of the social doctrine of the Church, which affirms that since something of the glory of God shines on the face of every person, the dignity of every person before God is the basis of the dignity of man before other people, regardless of their race, nation, sex, original, culture, or class. On this basic principle, which guarantees the sacred dignity of the individual, the Church constructs her social teaching. And to safeguard and to promote human dignity is the collective responsibility of everyone. And this responsibility concerns economic and political, social dimensions. Every economic decision and institution must be judged in light of whether it protects or undermines the dignity of the human person. The economy must serve people and not vice versa. The common good, which means concern for the welfare of everyone in society, is an important principle in Catholic social teaching, which is built upon the principle of human dignity. So, to be concrete, by establishing and submitting to a system of financial accountability, those in charge of finances in every diocese, in every eparchy, and church institution can eliminate unnecessary suspicion of financial mismanagement and mistrust. Professional guidance from reputed and trustworthy financial advisors may be sought for finance planning, analysis, and the financial situation, application of tax laws, creation of transparent accounting systems, and undertaking financial audits. This is the need of the hour also in our midst in the Church. And we have also to commit to peace building in the light of violence, aggression, and war. Peace is the responsibility of every person and every nation. It is a universal value. Care and concern of everyone in society is essential to build peace. And what is particularly needed is a solidarity towards all, especially the poorest. John Paul II said, "If you want peace, reach out to the poor." A recent conflict, violence, and war has caused immense human suffering and untold damage to human lives, involving huge economic and social costs. We think not only about the conflicts in the world, but also in India, particularly in Manipur. We need to ascertain the root causes of the conflicts and urgently develop strategies for promoting authentic peace. It is the need of the hour that we create a culture of peace in this country and in the world. So, To be concrete, let us commit ourselves to build a peaceful society by urging our priests to form the consciences of our lay faithful and transmit various moral values, especially the dignity of the person, of every person, through well-prepared homilies. I invite you, bishops, to exhort your priests to prepare good homilies. Preaching is a very much important channel to transmit the values of the gospel, but it's also the values of the human dignity. And for that, we can do even more that we are doing. The second point is Church's response to the current political situation in India. The right to live with human dignity is one of the fundamental rights guaranteed under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. It means that every person has the inalienable right to live with a dignified life without discrimination. Unfortunately, the Church in India, the society, but also the Church in India often is divided across lines of individualism, casteism, ethnicity, and economic inequality, which hampers our relations within the Church, as well as in our dealing between the Church and civil society. Central to the Church's mission is the obligation to teach moral truths that shape our lives as Christians. We are living in an information-driven society which bombards us indiscriminately with data, all treated as being as equal importance, and which leads to remarkable superficiality in the area of moral discernment. In response, we need to provide an education which teaches critical thinking and encourages the development of mature moral values. A concrete suggestion regarding the current political situation in India, I would say, first of all, in the light of the forthcoming general elections in India in 2024, all Christians who are eligible to vote are to be motivated to cast their vote, as it is an important duty in society. And in choosing one's representative, the faithful need to keep in mind the Christian values and principles that would be upheld by the representative, such as respecting for one's religious freedom, upholding the dignity of every human being, fostering democratic processes, holding on the truths taught by the Church, and acting in accordance with one's conscience. Thus, when concerning realities that involve fundamental ethical duties, such as making political choices contrary to Christian principles and values, the magisterium teaches that a well-formed Christian conscience does not permit one to vote for a political making program or individual law which contradicts the fundamental contents of faith and morals. And now some brief words about church teaching and artificial intelligence. On this topic, President of the Pontifical Academy for Life, Archbishop Vincenzo Paglia, will address you more properly on Friday, the 2nd February. However, given that the theme of the General Body meeting includes benefits and challenges of artificial intelligence, allow me to propose some brief reflections on this same topic. Artificial intelligence is one of the most innovative technologies that has emerged in the last decade, and I am glad that CBCI has chosen to discuss this very relevant theme. In the recent message for the 57th World Day of Peace 2024, Pope Francis affirmed that progress in science and technology, insofar as it contributes to greater order in human society and greater fraternal communion and freedom, thus leads to the betterment of humanity and the transformation of the world. So when science and technology is used in a way that respects the dignity of the human person, strives to create a more equitable and human world, seeks the common good, and promotes fundamental human values such as truth, reliability, compassion, concern, transparency, respecting privacy, equity, accountability, human fraternity, justice, and peace, then such scientific and technological processes are reliable and useful for humanity. So we have a great opportunity in the artificial intelligence. But when artificial intelligence is not used to foster the above stated values, but it is used for the disruptive possibility and ambivalent effects, there is an urgent need to orient its use in a responsible way to promote human dignity and common good. Therefore, my suggestion, in order to adequately understand the benefits and limitations of this new technological development and use it in an ethical and responsible manner, it is made good that lessons on artificial intelligence be imparted to seminarians during their formation period and to clergy and religious as part of their ongoing formation. May the values of the gospel always permeate our lives in the light of a rapid scientific and technological progress. May be always faithful on all matters of our Christian faith and morals. And in any case, we should never compromise on our moral principles, even if the end result of a technology is good. The end not justify the means. Why one may not do evil so that good may result from it, from the Catechism of the Catholic Church. Hence, it is important to guide people on the right path of being faithful to the teachings of the Church and follow the Christian values of truth, charity, freedom, prudence, mercy, solidarity, justice, and peace. May God bless each and every one of you, and I wish you a fruitful General Body meeting. Thanks.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your inaugural address, where you invited us to be concerned about the many issues in our country with reference to our theme, and also about artificial intelligence, moral values that we need to inculcate, and also once again highlighting to have well-prepared homilies. Thank you, Your Excellency. Our President holds a doctorate degree in Eastern Canon Law from the Pontifical Oriental Institute, Rome. He was nominated as Auxiliary Bishop of the Archdiocese of Thrissur on March 19, 2004, and subsequently in May ordained a bishop. He He was Vice President of CBCI, and Pope Francis appointed him in 2021 as one of the members of the Pontifical Council for Liturgical Texts. From 10th November 2022, he is the President of a Catholic Bishops' Conference of India. I now invite him to give us the presidential address. This, besides being in text form, we have a PPT presentation. So those in the sound room, I want to ask you to dim the stage lights, but keep the spotlight on. Thank you. Welcome, President.
Your Excellency, Archbishop Leopold the Girelli, dear Cardinals, Your Beatitude, dear Archbishops, Bishops, Major Superiors, priests, sisters, faculty members, dear staff and students, and dear friends, a very warm good morning to all of you. And at the very outset, I would like to wish happy feast to all the Boscos who are here. Especially, I know Bishop Bosco Puttur is here. If there are any other Boscos, please accept our happy feast wishes. As the President of CBCI, I am very happy to welcome all of you, the members of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of India, to the 36th General Body Meeting. We thank you most sincerely for your valuable presence and look forward to your active participation in the busy days ahead. We know that we have 174 dioceses in India in 3 sui ritual churches, and we have 288 bishops, including retired bishops. Most of the retired bishops have not come, but even then, we have the presence of almost 180 bishops now in the hall. So, cordial welcome to all of you. At the very outset, I wish you a pleasant stay in Bangalore, as Archbishop Machado has already, Peter Machado has already welcomed us. We have precious moments of mutual sharing and interactions and a synodal experience as church. May I begin this presidential address calling your attention to some of the major influences today on our ecclesial as well as secular scenario we are in. Synod of Bishops in Rome on synodality. We have gathered here between the 2 sessions of the Synod on Synodality. After 2 years of meticulous planning from 2021 onwards, the synodal discussions at different levels, and the next session will take place in October 2024. As you know, the ongoing Synod of Bishops has its theme for a synodal church communion participation mission with the methodology of listening, sharing, and discerning. In the first part of the Synod, which was held in October 2023 in Vatican, there were 363 voting participants from all over the world, about a quarter of which were non-bishops, including 54 women. There were 10 bishop participants and 2 sisters, as Archbishop Peter mentioned, from India. Some have described the Synod of Bishops as the culmination of Pope Francis' papacy and the most important event in the Church since the Second Vatican Council. Under the guidance of the Synod Office in Rome, in Vatican, the Church in India has marched forward in communion and participation in fulfilling its mission. Cardinal Oswald Gracious will give us more light on this matter during one of the sessions. COVID eases. 3 years after COVID burst into the scene, the world appears to have turned the corner in the first global pandemic in a century. Post-COVID scenario invites us to reflect on the impact of the pandemic on Christian life and spirituality. Humanitarian crisis deepen. Russia's invasion of Ukraine focused attention on Ukrainians fleeing from their homeland, seeking security abroad. The humanitarian situation in countries like Syria, Afghanistan, Pakistan, South Sudan, and Yemen remains desperate without any signs of resolution in the underlying conflicts. I just make mention of these events. I know that Archbishop Felix Machado will give more details in his biennial report. Israel-Hamas war. Hamas launches an incursion into southern Israel from Gaza Strip, prompting a military response from Israel Defense Forces. Israel launches numerous airstrikes on Lebanon after rockets were fired from Hezbollah and further attempts were made to penetrate Israel. The situation of the war-stricken places, especially of the children and of the sick and the wounded, is pathetic. As Holy Father Pope Francis repeatedly reiterates, war is never a solution to any problem. Yesterday we had the press conference and many were asking us about the election as well as about the Manipur violence. We will have to discuss about it in detail during some of the sessions. In our country since May 2023, the state of Manipur is burning on the fire of ethnic violence. If I understand correctly, more than 200 precious lives are lost. Hundreds of churches are burned down. Hard-earned property is destroyed and thousands are displaced. The church in India, especially Caritas, was in the forefront to help the victims of violence. I sincerely thank my brother bishops who responded against the human atrocities together with people of goodwill in a Christian way. I too, along with the Secretary, Deputy Secretary General and Caritas representatives were in Manipur to visit, and Archbishop Dominic Luman was there, and we have personally seen the atrocities that happened there. Attacks on Christians, especially from communal forces, continue to increase in different parts of India in different forms. Destruction of churches and places of worship, harassment of people serving in orphanages, schools, hostels, and such institutions by raids unwarranted for arresting priests and religious under false allegations like because of conversion have become more common. Climate change intensifies. Once rare extreme weather events became commonplace today, but overall government actions continues to lack. The COP27 meeting in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, ended with a loss and damage agreement that in theory will lead wealthy countries to compensate poor countries harmed by climate change. But no breakthroughs were made in cutting emissions. Instead, the share of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere continued to rise in 2022. Holy Father's document Laudate Deum. The Pope announced his plans to attend COP28, the 28th meeting of UN Climate Change Conference, which will be held from November 30 to December 20 this year in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Pope Francis will be the first Pope ever to take part in the International Climate Summit in its nearly 30 years history. His visit comes a year after Holy See formally became a party to the United Framework Convention on Climate Change. Demise of Pope Benedict XVI. The funeral ceremony of Pope Benedict XVI took place in St. Peter's Square on 5th January 2023. Representing CBCI also participated in the funeral ceremony. Pope Francis, Benedict's successor, presided over the service, which was conducted primarily in Latin with prayers and readings in Italian, Spanish, English, French, Portuguese, Arabic. Let us pray, continue to pray for the eternal repose of Pope Benedict. Train collision in Odisha on 2nd June 2023. A train collision in Odisha, India, results in the loss of 296 deaths and more than 1,200 others injured. 3 trains collided in Balasore district in Odisha, in eastern India. So we have the details. We know the details. I don't go into the details now. Chandrayaan 3. On 21st August 2023, India's Chandrayaan 3 becomes the first spacecraft to land near the south pole of the moon, carrying a lunar lander named Vikram and a lunar rover named Pragyan. As mentioned by Archbishop Peter, we had the G20 summit during 9 and 10 September. The G20 summit held in New Delhi. A consensus is achieved in the form of Delhi Declaration. The summit also witnessed African Union getting a permanent membership in G20. verdict against legalizing same-sex marriage. On 17th October 2023, the Supreme Court of India has refused to legalize same-sex marriage, saying that it is up to the Parliament to take decision in this regard. Transgender Catholics can be baptized. Holy See's Dicastery for the Doctrine of Faith states that transgender Catholics can be baptized with a condition if it would not cause scandal or confusion, while also acknowledging the possibility of baptizing children of same-sex couples. Fiducia supplicans. On 18 December 2023, the Dicastery for the Doctrine of Faith has given a declaration, Fiducia supplicans, on the pastoral meaning of blessings. There have been a lot of confusion in this regard. Apart from its pastoral intention of compassion, the document evoked several responses from the different parts of the world, including India. Finally, the Dicastery for Doctrine of Faith has released a press release clarifying the doubts regarding the application of fiducia supplicans. I have asked Cardinal Oswald Gracious to make reference to this new document and explain or clarify the document on blessings. A bombing in a convention center in Kerala. A bomb exploded at Jehovah's Witnesses prayer meeting at Simra International Convention Center in Kalamassery, killing 3 people and wounding 36 others. Shocking or what? I don't know what would be the even. India has become the world's most populated country. India is projected to surpass China as the world's most populous country. India has in 2023 1.428 billion in India, while China has only 1.425 billion. Discussions on social political scenario in India. This general body focuses on the Church's response to the current socio-political situation in the country. Yesterday during the press conference, many were asking me so many tricky questions about what is going to happen in the next election. So somehow we managed to escape the tricky questions. Mr. Sudhindra Kulkarni will be the main speaker and response will be given by Father Joe Xavier. Yesterday I told that after our discussions there will be a press release and you will get the information about what we discuss. Legislative Assembly elections in 2023, about some of which Archbishop Peter also mentioned, in Tripura, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Karnataka, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, etc. So we can, during our discussions, we can have also deliberations on that. Parliamentary elections at our national level, we are about to participate in the parliamentary elections. We thank all our leaders in government offices and we look forward to a glorious India where our leaders continue to inspire and govern our nation. Also, they were asking me yesterday about what will be happening about the Constitution of India. We said we stick on to the Constitution, which is one of the best constitutions in the whole world. So they were asking me so many questions about whether it will be changed or not. I said, we stick on to the Constitution of India, which is sovereign, secular, socialistic, democratic, and republic. Changing religious social scenario. Pran Pradishta of Ayodhya Ram Mandir was presented at a national event in which Prime Minister became the Yajamana of the consecration ceremony. This event evokes several questions regarding the secularistic character of our country. Our mission in the digital world and benefits of artificial intelligence. The Synod of Bishops in October 2023 discussed widely about the role and mission of the Church in the digital world. Some of them explained in the digital continent. The postmodern digital world gives us inputs how the artificial intelligence helps us in every aspect of our life. Message of Pope Francis, as mentioned by Archbishop Leopoldo on the 58th World Day of Social Communication, will be held on 12th May 2024. The message is on artificial intelligence and the wisdom of the heart towards a fully human communication. As already mentioned, Archbishop Vincenzo Paglia will give a paper on that. Changes in the top positions of Curia officers, having published his constitution reforming the Roman Curia in June 2023, Pope Francis has made some changes in the top positions of Roman Curia officers. World Youth Day, Apostolic Journey of His Holiness Pope Francis to Portugal on the occasion of the 37th World Youth Day. I don't go into the details. Ecclesiastical changes. Since last CBCI General Body meeting in November 2022, there have been in India about 36 new appointments or changes of bishops, 16 retirements of bishops in now, and we lost 6 of our brother bishops, including former CBCI presidents Cardinal Telespo Topo and Archbishop Joseph Pavatil. We shall pray for the eternal repose of our deceased bishops. As already mentioned, we have new major Archbishop Raphael Tatil. Tatil means, you know who is Tatil? Tatil means who is above. And you know Tarat means who is down. I am Tarat. But he was my auxiliary bishop whose name is Tatil, but who was staying down and myself staying up on the upstairs. Now God has given the chance that he becomes now real Tatil. Tatil means real, in the upstairs. Congratulations and best wishes, Bishop Raphael Tatil. So as said, he is succeeding George Cardinal Inchiri. Thanks to him also. Jubilee year 2025. This general body meeting is being held at the very crucial time on the edge of history as we look forward to the Jubilee year 2025. We will have a brief session on the Jubilee year in the course of our general body meeting. Our commitment to the poor, in spite of the different challenges we Christians face in India today, we continue our commitment to the poor, needy and downtrodden. Reports of offices and councils. We are thankful to the great and hard service of our Jervis at the CBCI Center, whose term will be over by May 2024. During this, so thanks for Jervis, and he will continue until May 2024. During this meeting, we will have summary reports of the different national offices and councils of CBCI, as well as the reports of the 14 regional councils. Dear bishops and dear friends, we are on a synodal path. We, the members of CBCI, are going ahead in the synodal path of listening, sharing, and discerning. As Pope Francis emphasized during the synod in October 23. In fact, he told several times on the very first meeting, Pope Francis said, we, the synod members, are not a parliament. Holy Spirit is the protagonist. We are a synodal community. During this general body meeting, we will have some more interaction between the bishops. We will have also elections for the office bearers and the chairman of some of the offices. Dear bishops and friends, invoking God's abundant blessings on the church in India, which is facing difficult times, in which we are designated by the Lord to be the shepherds, to be the committed leaders for the church in India. I wish an effective and fruitful plenary meeting of CBCI during these days. Thank you and welcome also once again to all the bishops.
Thank you, dear President, for that PPT presentation which enlightened us. Archbishop Felix Machado, our Secretary General, was the Undersecretary at the Pontifical Council for Interreligious Dialogue in Rome. He has participated and continues to participate in many national and international interreligious dialogue seminars and conferences. He has also written a few books, presently the Archbishop of Vasai. He has also been chairman of different offices of CCBI as well as CBCI. He is our current Secretary General. He too will present the Secretary General's biennial report in a PPT presentation. Just to share with you one new thing which we have included in the Secretary General's report. Towards the end of Archbishop's report, His Grace will read out the 26 new bishops that have been appointed and consecrated from November 2022. I'd like to invite our cardinals who are here in front as they come up to give them a token as Archbishop will read out their names. So it will be towards the end of his report. Welcome, Archbishop Felix.
You heard the presidential address, and now it is my duty to bring to you the report, the biennial report of the CCBI, the CBCI, which was held from December 22. So this is, I'm sorry, but the report is of the last 2 years. Introduction. The 36th Catholic Bishops' Conference of India has great significance in this year of hope, eager expectations, and change. It is my joy and privilege to extend my greetings to all as we come together to reflect on the theme, the current socio-political situation in the country and the benefits and challenges of artificial intelligence. In his message for the 57th World Day of Peace, on the 1st of January 2024, Pope Francis reflects on the impact of artificial intelligence on the world peace, and he urges the international community to adopt a binding international treaty that regulates its development and use. In it, Pope Francis draws attention to the ethical dimension of these new technologies which are revolutionizing humanity in all spheres of life, highlighting the ambivalence inherent in any progress in science and technology. On the one hand, the Holy Father says, artificial intelligence can lead to the betterment of humanity and the transformation of society if it, I quote, contributes to greater order in human society and greater fraternal communion and freedom, unquote. On the other hand, techno-scientific advances, especially in the digital sphere, I quote, are placing in human hands a vast array of options, including some that may pose a risk to our survival and endanger our common home, unquote. In the course of this general body meeting, we will be privileged to have Archbishop Vincenzo Paglia, President of Pontifical Academy of Life, who will further enlighten us on the ethical dimension of these two new technologies. Father Selva Kumar, a Salesian priest, will respond by giving us some practical insights in the proper use of artificial intelligence tools. The main theme for the meeting is to reflect on the current socio-political situation in our country and what can be the Church's response to it. The keynote speaker will be Shri Sudhindra Kulkarni, and Father Joe Xavier, a Jesuit priest, will respond to his talk. The Catholic Church in India continues its mission of service and witness with enthusiasm, dedication, and commitment. Christ's call to serve continued to to be reflected in its educational activities, engagement in health care, and outreach through social work. The brief report of the last 2 years will deal with the salient features in the functioning of the conference. The offices and national centers will report on the activities and achievements through their respective secretaries and directors. The committed secretaries and directors, under the guidance and supervision of the chairman and bishops in charge, have much to their credit as collaborators in the services that are offered by the Catholic Bishops' Conference of India. Point number 2, on the national level. We have heard much about Manipur, and still much can be said. The Manipur crisis still goes on, has not yet been settled. It began in May 2022. In the course of last year, this sad situation was discussed at the 2 CBCI standing committee meetings in May and in September 2022. Bishops from the Northeast region shared about the sad manner in which senseless killings took place, people fled with fear, and how even in relief camps there was no safety and peace. Caritas India and many dioceses, the non-governmental organizations and individuals have visited the place and have donated food and shelter materials as well as more money. Dioceses and religious men and women congregations in various parts of India and particularly in their main cities of the country have taken care of children for their education and have provided employment for the youth and adults. In July 2022, Archbishop Andrews, President of CBCI, together with Father Jervis and the Caritas Director, Father Paul Munjali, visited affected places with Archbishop Dominic Lumon, former Archbishop of Imphal, and a few priests from Archbishop's house. The short visit concluded with an action plan being drawn up for the rehabilitation of the people of Manipur, and a press release was issued. Constant efforts are on by the church and civil groups to bring about some dialogue, peace, reconciliation, and harmony among the warring groups. Later in the year, in December 2022, the new Archbishop of Imphal, His Grace Archbishop Linus Nelly, was consecrated in a district about 70 kilometers north of the Archbishop's house, where that area was a peaceful one. We would like to place on record the hard work and the delicate manner in which Archbishop Emeritus Dominic Lumon has handled the situation, and we wish Archbishop Linus Nelly our prayers and support. We must not and cannot forget so many other bishops who in different parts of India go through similar struggles and face problems from different spheres of life. The Church in India has been reaching out through the many dioceses and men and women religious in responding to the attacks on Christians and other natural calamities. Point number 3, at the international level. Several devastating earthquakes, 2 ongoing wars that heightened geopolitical tensions, numerous instances of gun violence, especially in the United States of America. Also in 2022 and 23, we have had disasters, natural disasters, and man-made conflicts, these kind of test the nations and citizens globally. There was an earthquake in Turkey, for example, in Syria. Over 67,000 people were killed after a series of devastating tremors hit parts of Turkey and neighboring Syria early on February 6. Thousands of buildings tumbled down, trapping tens of thousands of residents. And then Russia-Ukraine war spills into second year. More than a year after Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022, the war continued with Ukraine, and still there is no light being seen in the tunnel. We have, though there is no concrete information on the number of casualties, United Nations estimates more than 10,000 Ukrainian civilians have been killed. A New York Times report said that over 5 lakh Ukrainians and Russian soldiers have been killed so far. The ongoing Israel-Hamas war. The ongoing Israel-Hamas war in Gaza has killed nearly 20,000 Palestinians, wounded tens of thousands more, and displaced 90% of the 2.3 million residents of the besieged enclave. I was just in Rome and Canterbury. I met, because these two bishops, pair of bishops, one from Palestine and one from Israel. They have still stories to tell us, but most of all, they are asking us for our prayers. The current conflict was triggered by the surprise Hamas attack on Israel on October 7, in which 1,200 Israelis were gunned down in their homes. This was at a music festival. The attack left thousands wounded, and over 240 others were taken hostage, of which about half have been released as a part of a temporary ceasefire earlier this month. At the universal level in the Church bid farewell to Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI, it was mentioned. World Youth Day, Portugal, from 2nd to 6th of August 2023. The 2023 event held in Lisbon, Portugal, was announced at World Youth Day 2019 in Panama City. About 3,54,000 pilgrims from more than 200 countries were registered, including 688 bishops, and the event was aided by 25,000 volunteers. The closing vigil mass had an estimated 1.5 million attendees. From India, 638 youth participated for this program. Sad to say that there were several others who wanted to go but could not obtain their visas. Holy Father, his trips to Congo, South Sudan, Hungary, and Mongolia. Pope Francis maintained busy travel schedule in 2023, visiting 6 different countries on 3 separate continents, despite being one of the oldest popes in church history and enduring ongoing struggles with his health. Pope Francis turned 87 years old last December, and in March celebrated his 10th year as Pope. Although this year was marked by several hospital stays, struggles with bronchitis and sciatica that often confined him to a wheelchair, as well as he had to cancel that visit to Dubai for COP28 due to that health issues. Apostolic letter in the form of motu proprio by the Supreme Pontiff Pope Francis Vos Estis Lux Mundi. It was a letter updated on 25th of March 2023. Synod on Synodality, October 2023 to October 2024 and October 2024. The work of the Synod on Synodality continues in view of the final session set for October 2024, and churches are now called to reflect on the synthesis report published in October 2023 to promote further consultation and to prepare contributions for next year's assembly. Bishops from across the world have received a document with instructions from the Secretariat, the Synod, accompanied by a letter from Cardinal Mario Grech, the General Secretary of the the Synod, and Jean-Claude Ulrich, the Relator General. The 4-page text, first of all, underscores the importance of the experience lived by those who took part in the first session of the Synod in October 23, recalling that their account constitutes an inalienable part of the gift we all have received, conveying the richness of an experience that no text can text can contain. The synodal process will therefore continue along some lines of work, keeping in mind what Pope Francis said when he approved them, that the synod, I quote, "The synod is about synodality and not about this or that theme," and unquote. And that the, I quote again, "important thing is how the reflection is done, that is, in a synodal way," unquote. For the past 2 years, the Church in India has been going through a long synodal process, listening to people at different levels. In order to prepare ourselves for the Jubilee year 20, the year of Jubilee now, in order to prepare ourselves for Jubilee year 2025, the Holy Father has set aside 2024 as the year of prayer. Following the extraordinary 2015 Holy Year of Mercy started by Pope Francis, the forthcoming Jubilee will take place in line with the norm of leaving a 25-year gap between each one. The most recent ordinary Jubilee took place in the year 2000. The world and the Catholic Church prepared to enter the new millennium. The Jubilee year is a special year of grace in which the Church offers the faithful the possibility of obtaining plenary indulgences. Traditionally, it begins just before Christmas and ends on the Epiphany of the following year. The Pope inaugurates the Holy Year with the rite of the opening of the Holy Door in St. Peter's Basilica. After that, the holy doors of the other papal basilicas, St. John the Lateran, St. Paul outside the walls, and St. Mary Major, are opened and remain so until the end of the Jubilee year. Year of Prayer inaugurated. Pope Francis has inaugurated a year of prayer ahead of the 2025 Jubilee, calling on the faithful, I quote, to intensify prayer to prepare us to live well this event of grace and to experience the power of God, God's hope, unquote. In the remarks after the Angelus on Sunday, the Holy Father explained that the year of prayer is dedicated, I quote, to rediscovering the great value and absolute need for prayer. Prayer in personal life, in the life of the church, prayer also in the world. The Dicastery for Evangelization will be preparing materials to assist us in celebrating the year. Point number 5, CBCI in these 2 years. The attacks on Christians continue in different parts of the country. Manipur has been the burning topic for nearly a year now. Fighting between 2 ethnic groups continues. The Secretary General sometimes has to give recommendation letters when dioceses and or religious institutes request for foreign funds. There are many fruitful experiences as to how these funds are used. One such project was by a religious congregation that runs a school, tuition classes for the poor of South Delhi in Sangam Vihar. It was a joy that Father Jervis, together with some CBCI fathers, went to visit this place and found out how the funds are so fruitfully used. 1st of May every year is celebrated as International Workers' Day, and CBCI, along with Office for Labour, organized a program for workers from the different institutions of the campus. I myself happened to be in CBCI that time, and I participated in the event. The CBCI also collaborated with neighboring schools in preparing for G20 meeting in September 2023. The schools organized a number of awareness programs on the countries participating in the G20 meeting. Indian participants at FABC meeting. There was a meeting on climate change in Nepal from 9th to 14th of October 2023, and 40 participants, bishops, priests, religious men and women, and lay people from Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and India gathered to reflect on the latest synod document Laudato Deum and the way ahead. I myself was one of the speakers there. CBCI joined in the memorial mass on 24th of October 2023 of the late Cardinal Telesphore Topo, and the mass was in the Archdiocese of Delhi, and the tribals settled in Delhi at Good Shepherd Church celebrated this mass. CBCI participated in the international meeting of National Council for Reconciliation and Peace that was held on the 11th of November 2023 at CBCI Center under the chairmanship of Justice Kurian Joseph. CBCI takes the lead every year to reach out to wish people of different faiths, because the messages that are sent from the Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue can be shared with people who live in our respective dioceses of that particular religion. And from CBCI Center, Father Jervis takes the lead of going to Hindus on the feast of Diwali, Jains, Mahavir Jayanti, Buddhists, Buddha Purnima, Sikhs, and other feasts of other religions. On the 14th of December 2023, the CBCI hosted its annual Christmas program on its lawns. Mr. Tim Curtis, Director of UNESCO, representative for the region in Delhi, was the chief guest. The neighboring communities joined in the singing of Christmas carols, and the evening was well attended. I think our Apostolic Nuncio was presiding that function. 122 guests from the governments, bureaucrats, ambassadors, members of parliament, and civil officials were also present. It is already mentioned, but it must go into the report also. His Beatitude Raphael Tatil was appointed new Major Archbishop of the Syro-Malabar Catholic Church, the second largest Eastern Catholic Church, and as the Metropolitan Archbishop of Ernakulam Angamali since January 2024. Just a brief biography. Appointed and installed as the Auxiliary Bishop of Thrissur in 2010 to serve along with Metropolitan Archbishop Andrew Thalat. In 2013, Pope Francis appointed Archbishop Tatil as the Apostolic Visitator for all members of the Syro-Malabar Church in India outside their own territory. He served in these roles until he was appointed the first bishop of the newly erected Eparchy of Shamshabad in 2017. And as I said, in January 24, he was elected Major Archbishop by the Holy Synod of the Syro-Malabar Church to succeed Cardinal George Alencheri, who was Major Archbishop from 2011 to 2023. We place on the records the services of Cardinal Alencheri. I would now, as Father Jervis has already announced, like to call on 26 new bishops to the front line of the stage, the bishops that were consecrated after the last general body meeting in November 2022. You will excuse me if I don't pronounce every name correctly. Reverend Sebastian Mascarenhas was appointed Bishop of Baroda on 31st December 2022. Father John Panamattatil was appointed Bishop of Melbourne, Australia on 14th of January 2023. Reverend James Shekhar was appointed Bishop of Buxar on 4th of February 2023. Reverend Wilbert Marvin, parish priest, but appointed Bishop of Nongostain on 4th of February 2023. Father Joachim Walder was appointed Auxiliary Bishop of Aizawl on 30th of March 2023. Father Joseph Kalarakal, appointed Bishop of Jaipur on 22nd of April 2023. Father Varghese Thotamkara was appointed Bishop of Balasore on the 10th of May 2023. Monsignor George Panamathundil was appointed Apostolic Nuncio of Kazakhstan on 16th of June 2023. Father Louis Mascarenhas was appointed Bishop of Allahabad on 17th June 2023. Father Beni Varghese was appointed Bishop of Itanagar on 29th of June 2023. Father Elias Frank was appointed Bishop of Asansol on the 3rd of July 2023. Father Ferdinand Nakhar was appointed Bishop of Jovai on 8th of July 2023. Father Matthew Nilkunal was appointed Bishop of Gorakhpur on 26th of August 2023. Father Lurdu Anandam was appointed Bishop of Shivagangai on 21st September 2023. Father Linus Nelly was appointed Archbishop of Imphal on 7th of October 2023. Father Linus Pingal Ekka was appointed Bishop of Gumla on 30th of November 2023. Father Malcolm Sikwera was appointed Bishop of Amravati on 30th of November 2023. Father Ambrose Puthinbithil was appointed Bishop of Kottapuram on 30th of November 2023. Father Mathai Kadavil was appointed as the Bishop of Eparchy of St. Ephraim of Khadki of the Siromalankara Catholic Church on 12th of December 2023. Father Bernard Lancy Pinto was appointed Coadjutor Bishop of Aurangabad on 30th of December 2023. Father Peter Rumal Kharadi was appointed Bishop of Jabua on 30th of December 2023. Father Justin Alexander Marathi Parambil was appointed Auxiliary Bishop of Vijaypuram on 13th of January 2024. Father Valan Arasu was appointed Bishop of Jabalpur on 13th of January 2024. Father Duming Dias was appointed Bishop of Karwar on 13th of January 2024. Father Jivanandam Amalanathan was appointed Bishop of Kumbakonam on 13th of January 2024. Father Albert George Alexander Anastas was appointed Bishop of Kujithurai on 13th of January 2024. Father Bhaskar Jesuraj was appointed Bishop of Meerut on 13th of January 2024. I think that's it. retirements and resignations. Right Reverend Devdas Ambrose Mariados, Bishop of Tanjore, retired on 4th of February 2023. Reverend Bishop Thomas Dabre, Bishop of Pune, retired on 25th of March 2023. Bishop Oswald Lewis, Bishop of Jaipur, retired on 22nd April 2023. Bishop Joseph Karikasari, Bishop of Kottapuram, retired on 1st of May 2023. Bishop Alvin De Silva, Auxiliary Bishop of Bombay, retired on 13th of May 2023. Bishop Franco Mulakal, Bishop of Jalandhar, retired on 1st of June 2023. Bishop John Thomas Katurkudil, Bishop of Itanagar, retired on 29th June 2023. Bishop Thomas Turuthimattam, Bishop of Gorakhpur, retired on 26th August 2023. Archbishop Dominic Lumon of Imphal, retired on 7th of October 2023. His Eminence Cardinal Mar George Alencheri, Major Archbishop of Ernakulam, Angamali, resigned on 17th of December 2023. Archbishop Andrews, Apostolic Administrator, Archeparchy of Ernakulam, Angamali, resigned on 7th December 2023. Archbishop Felix Topo, Archbishop of Ranchi, retired on 30th of December 2023. Bishop Lourdes Daniel, Bishop of Nashik, retired on 30th of December 2023. Bishop Anthony William, Bishop of Mysore, retired on 13th of January 2024. Bishop Gerald Almeida, Bishop of Jabalpur, retired on 13th of January 2024. And Bishop Antoniswamy Francis, Bishop of Kumbakonam, retired on 13th of January 2024. And now come to the sad news of our brothers who have left for Father's home. That is Bishop Anthony Fernandez, Emeritus of Bareilly, passed away on 3rd of February 2023. Archbishop Ignatius Pinto of Bangalore passed away on 8th of February 2023. Bishop Joseph G. Fernandez, Bishop Emeritus of Quilon, passed away on 4th of March 2023. Most Reverend Mar Joseph Pavatil, Archbishop Emeritus of Changnacheri, passed away on 18th of March 2023. Bishop Isidore Fernandez, Bishop of Allahabad, passed away on 26th of April 2023. And His Eminence Cardinal Telesphore Topo, Archbishop Emeritus of Ranchi, passed away on 4th of October 2023. Let us all rise. Eternal rest grant to them, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon them. May the souls of the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Amen. Please be seated. So, dear cardinals, dear archbishops, bishops, my dear people, as you can see, much has been done in the short time of less than 2 years since we last met in November 2022, and much remains to be done. These general body meetings, assemblies, are occasions for us bishops to come together to share, to discuss, and to strengthen and encourage each other in our ministries as chief shepherds of our dioceses. I am very hopeful that we will gain much from this 36th CBCI General Body meeting and take home plans which we can implement, thereby making our dioceses even more faith-filled and vibrant. I would like then to conclude with a famous quote by St. John Bosco, whose memorial we celebrate today. He said, "Whatever you do, think of the glory of God as your main goal." Jai Hind.
Thank you, Your Grace, for taking us down memory lane. I'd now like to invite our first Vice President, Archbishop George Anthony Swami, to read out the two messages that we have received, one from the Holy Father and the second from Cardinal Claudio Giuretti, Prefect of the Eastern Churches.
Brother bishops, brother priests, reverend sisters, brothers and sisters, I read the whole message of the Holy Father at first, and then comes Cardinal Claudio Gugerotti. It seems to be a little longer. I was asked to cut short those things which are not essential, and the text will be available for all of us for the complete message. The first one from the Holy Father. The Most Reverend Andrew Stollett, Archbishop of Trichure, President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of India, I send cordial greetings and prayerful best wishes to you and your brother bishops on the occasion of the 36th General Body Meeting of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of India. It is my hope that your discussions will encourage and assist the local churches in promoting and safeguarding the intrinsic dignity of each person, which includes ensuring that emerging technologies remain ethically grounded and directed toward the good. I am confident that in this way, the work of the Episcopal Conference can contribute to the progress of peace and integral human development and bring the light and truth of the gospel to every level of Indian society, entrusting all gathered for the General Body Meeting to the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary, Mother of Church. I gladly impart my blessing as a pledge of eternal communion in the Lord. Franciscus. The message from Claudio Cardinal Gugerotti. Your Beatitudes, Your Eminences, and Your Excellencies. With gratitude to Archbishop Andrew Stollett for the gracious invitation, I express my pleasure at this opportunity to address the words to the General Body Meeting of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of India, and my cordial best wishes to all of you, dear brothers in the Episcopate. As I extend these fraternal greetings, I also wish to thank the Apostolic Nuncio, Archbishop Leopoldo Girelli, for his precious service in your country. It is of essential value for the bishops of the three churches sui juris present in India to meet in this way. Your agenda for these days is to reflect together on matters of fundamental importance to the common good, in particular, the response of Catholics to current local political situations and challenges of artificial intelligence. The latter theme is also the topic of the Holy Father's message for the 57th World Day of Peace, upon which I am sure you all will reflect. Another document well worth your attention is the Roman Call for AI Ethics, presented in the year 2020 by the Pontifical Academy for Life, which enumerates 6 principles, namely transparency, inclusion, accountability, impartiality, reliability, and security. In a various way, these tenets bring to the fore the uniqueness of the human condition. Like all scientific advances, artificial intelligence must be also at the service of human dignity in order for the technological progress to be truly integral human development. The Church understands herself as an expert in humanity because the revelation of the incarnate Word constitutes an indispensable light radiating from the triune God on the human condition. Three different sui juris churches inhabiting the same home country can be a great opportunity to show how Christians live their differences, facing challenges together in the spirit of missionary cooperation and above all mutual charity. In this regard, the faithful observance of the canonical norms is an indispensable assistance to harmonious coexistence. In particular, the Code of Canons of the Eastern Churches remains as the rights of the Eastern Churches as the patrimony of the entire Church of Christ, in which there is clearly evident the tradition which has come from the apostles through the fathers and which affirm the divine unity in diversity of the Catholic faith are to be religiously preserved and fostered. Thus, the mind of the Apostolic See, when erecting ecclesiastical jurisdiction, is to assist the Eastern Catholic faithful belonging to their respective eparchy to grow in their sense of identification with their proper church by participating in its ecclesial life, so that their precious liturgical, theological, spiritual, disciplinary, and cultural heritage may flourish always. This awareness of each sui juris church having equal dignity is also a precious testimony in your cultural context, constituting a vital example for you, for fellow citizens, and to others to witness. Through the intercession of the Holy Mother of God, may God grant an abundant outpouring of the Holy Spirit on your gathering, giving you wisdom, courage, and understanding befitting faithful servants of the Lord Jesus Christ, with sentiments of fraternal affection in Him, and my promise of prayers for a most successful General Body meeting, I renew my cordial greetings and best wishes to all the bishops of your beloved country. Signed, Claudio Cardinal Gujarati, Prefect for the Dicastery for the Oriental Churches.
Thank you, Grace, for reading out these two messages. I now call upon Bishop Joseph Mar Thomas.
Your Graces, Your Excellencies, Fathers, Sisters, Brothers, and my dear friends. It is with immense joy and profound gratitude to God that I stand before you to propose a vote of thanks to this August Assembly of 36th General Gathering of the CBCI. Cicero once said, "Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. It is the language of love and hospitality." I deem it as my privilege to honor to show our deep respect to our distinguished dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. God Almighty. First and foremost, I thank God Almighty for the wonderful blessings and graces He keeps bestowing on our CBCI, our cardinals, archbishops, bishops, fathers, sisters, and all of us, for without His love and protection, we would not have been here today. Archbishop Andrews Thales, President of the CBCI, is a man of wisdom and fortitude. He has been the inspiration for the planning and organization of the 36th CBCI meeting. I thank you, Archbishop, for your dynamic leadership and the right direction to the CBAs over the years. Our nuncio. It is always a matter of joy and satisfaction for us to have the gracious presence of Archbishop Leopoldo Girelli, who represents our Holy Father. Our nuncio is a man of integrity, competence, commitment. I thank you, dear Excellency, for being the main celebrant at the inaugural Eucharist. Your homily was enlightening and meaningful. Your inaugural message was excellent and inspirational. We thank His Eminences Cardinal Philip Neri Ferrao, His Beatitude Cardinal Clemis Catholicos, and His Beatitude Major Archbishop Raphael Tuttle for being present here today. The three ritual churches, Latin, Syro-Malabar, and Syro-Malankara, form a rich body with immense diversities and utmost unity, help the Church to grow and flourish in 174 dioceses. These three leaders of the individual churches are the master tillers of the spiritual, intellectual, and cultural soils of the Catholic Church in India. We thank you, the most dear cardinals and the beatitudes. Cardinal Oswald Gracious, his contribution to the Church in India, CBCI, and the Universal Church are enlightening, eminent, erudite, and enterprising. He is one of the most valuable symbols of our Church in India and rest of the world. We acknowledge the valuable contribution of Cardinal. We thank you, Cardinal Oswald for his wonderful contribution. We acknowledge the valuable presence and contribution of Cardinal Anthony Peroda to this CBCI meeting. Our Archbishop, His Grace Peter Machado, a man of wisdom and compassion, has welcomed us to the Silicon Valley of India. The tremendous wealth of priests, religious, education institutions, formation houses, hospitals, social welfare agencies, and related programs have made the Crystal Silicon Archdiocese of Bangalore a prime archdiocese in our country. Thank you, dear Archbishop, for your wonderful leadership, warm welcome, and great hospitality we are enjoying these days. Archbishop Felix Machado is a man of vision. He is a protector of the Universal Church in India and CBCI. As a CBCI General Secretary, he has laid the foundation for the beautiful start of this 36th General Assembly meet. Dear Archbishop, we thank you so much. I thank Archbishop George Anthony Sami, the Vice President Second. He is a man of character, competency, and credibility. His vast knowledge and experience empowers the CBCI. He has read out the messages received from the Holy Father and from the Dicastery for the Eastern Churches. Thank you, dear Archbishop. I thank Father Jeshudas, the vibrant director of the St. John National Academy of Health Sciences, our local organizer, for all the hard and brilliant work he had done, his team members have undertaken for us. We thank his team members, namely Father Tony, Father Charles, Father John, and his team, nursing students, Father Peter, Father Roy, Father John Baptist, Father Nathan Luca, and team for a great service they have given to us and all that they will do in the coming days for us. Father Jervis D'Souza, I thank Reverend Father Jervis, the Deputy Secretary General of CBCI. He is a man of deep commitment and hard work. His enthusiasm and arrangements make the CBCI meeting the most vibrant one. We thank Father Jervis. I thank all the fathers, sisters, brothers, and lay faithful who help in the arrangements of the CBCI meeting, the many sisters involved, and we thank our special guests, provincials, fathers, sisters, students. I thank the secretaries of the CBCI offices, councils, and directors. And above all, I thank all the special guests, secretaries, all the dignitaries, faculty members, students, and the most valuable members of this learned assembly. Thank you very much. In conclusion, someone said, it is impossible to map out a route to your destination if you don't know where you are starting from. May today and this meeting be the starting point for us to come together to learn more about artificial intelligence and learn about the current situation in our country. Thank you very much. God bless each and every one of us.
We have to thank our second Vice President for proposing the vote of thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Bishop. I now invite Father Jeshudas. But before that, a few announcements from my side, our side. We will have our first session at 3:30 in Paul VI Auditorium. It will be by Mr. Sudendra Kulkarni and Father Joe Xavier. At 5:30, we have the reports presentation by Caritas India and St. John's. And then 7:30, we have adoration in the Nurses Auditorium. This time we have allotted each region to conduct the morning prayer 8:50 in the hall, the midday prayer and also the 7:30 adoration. The first day will be conducted by Bishop Theodore Mascarenhas, the secretary, and a team of the Jan regional bishops. Also, if you have not got your bag, kindly collect your bag, the kit, from the sister and the other helpers there at the Annex 3 reception. Welcome, Father Jesudas now.
Your Excellency, Apostolic Nuncio, Your Eminences, Your Excellencies, Your Graces, and dear fathers and sisters, and special invitees, and the members of St. John's family. On behalf of St. John's family, I would like to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you. We are honored to have you on our beautiful campus for this significant event of the Catholic Church of India. I would like to bring your kind attention to the information sheet that has been placed in your rooms. This sheet contains important help desk at Annex 3. And liturgical services, daily masses at 6:30 when we have the Holy Mass in Siro Malabar and Siro Malankara rites. And 6:45 a.m. when we have Latin rite masses. All the masses are at Nursing College Auditorium. Daily adoration is at 7:30 p.m. at Nursing College Auditorium. And our meeting venue is Pope Paul VI Auditorium, and workshops and regional meetings also will be Research Institute conference halls. And general and also cultural program we have on 6th February at 8:30 in the same auditorium here. And meals, breakfast at 7 o'clock, lunch 1 o'clock, and dinner 8 o'clock in Annex 3 dining hall. And there are separate counters in the dining hall for vegetarian and non-vegetarian diet. Facility for making bed coffee, tea, arranged in the lobby of all floors of Annex 3 from 5:30 to 6:30 a.m. Arrangements are made to meet the guest at the food court adjacent to the main auditorium. If you are going to be absent for any meal, please notify the help desk at Annex 3 in advance. For any special dietary requirements, please do not hesitate to inform our team in advance, and we will accommodate your need. And Wi-Fi, computer, newspapers. We understand the importance of staying connected, and therefore we have provided high-speed internet access throughout the campus to access the portal Salve Regina Wi-Fi network. Please scan the QR code or log in using the ID and password given over leaf. If you experience any connectivity issues, please contact our help desk at Annex 3. Computers with the printing facility are available for us and for use in Annex 3 lounge. And also newspapers in different languages will be available in Annex 3 hall. And also a health station and blood collection center. A health station with the doctors and nurses will be set up to provide medical assistance and health counseling to the participants at museum next to the Pope Paul VI Auditorium. This health station will function from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. from today till 7th February 2024. Those who wish to have specialist consultation or special investigation at the hospital are requested to give their details to the doctors and nurses at the health center, who in turn will help and make necessary appointments with the special doctors. There will be a blood collection center in Annex 3 launched for those who wish to have blood investigation done. The blood collection center will function from 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. till 7th February 2024. In case of medical emergency, please contact from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Dr. Pradesh Kran. The number is given in the sheet. And after 5 p.m. to morning 8:30 a.m., you can contact Father John Varghese, Associate Director, and Ria Emmanuel, Chief of Nursing Services, and MSW Emergency Medical Departments. The numbers are given. And for any other assistance, please contact Help Desk at Annex 3 entrance. And also laundry facility will be available on the campus for your convenience during your stay. Laundry bag is provided in each room. Please place the laundry bag with soiled linen outside your room by 9 a.m. Washed linen will be returned to your room the next day. And also very important, on the return trip to airport or railway station, transportation to the airport railway station for the return journey will be arranged for those who have already given information on the return journey and requested transport to the airport or station. The information we have received on return journey will be displayed on Annex 3 notice board in due course. In addition, a note will be given to each one indicating the time of departure from Annex 3 and who else will be traveling in the same car to airport or railway station. We have engaged the services of VTT Transport Solution Company for transportation to and from airport. As a rule, one will have to leave for the airport from Annex 3 at least 3 hours prior to the departure of the flight. And before I conclude, once again, I would like to emphasize that our aim is to make your stay as comfortable and memorable as possible. If you have any specific request or if there is anything else you need assistance with, please do not hesitate to contact any one of us or help desk at Annex 3. I extend my sincere appreciation, acknowledgement and thanks to the committee members headed by our associate directors, Father John, Father Tony, and Father Charles, and unit heads of the Academy for their unwavering support and tremendous generosity. Thank you once again, and we hope you have a wonderful time here and that the meeting is a resounding success. Thank you and welcome and happy present.
We shall now have the grace before meals. I'd like to invite you to please stand. Archbishop George will lead us.
Almighty, loving Father, after having concluded our morning session fully, we are approaching the goodness and kindness to share the meal which we are going to have in your abundant bounties. Bless each one of us here present through the meal which we are going to share, that we could build up ourselves not only physically and also fraternally and above all spiritually to continue our mission ever more faithful. Bless us, O Lord, this meal which you are going to take out of your mouth through Christ our Lord. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
All our special guests, special invitees also to have lunch with the bishops.
ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ